for Peggy, isn't it?
Yeah. Peggy story.
This is about a fella that left Ardra. You'll not believe this, but he's
Ardra.
from Ardra.
Where's Cara?
She's gone outside.
She's gone.
Oh, I can't tell the story, she's not here.
Yeah.
She's from Ardra, and where he was from Ardra, and he left Ardra ages and ages ago.
This is Cara's song. It's Ardra story.
No more.
And this poor fella came up to the county Meath. This was in the 50s when times were tough.
Oh.
And he had to come to Meath there in his living. And he got a job with a farmer in Meath. But before he went down to the farmhouse, he went to the local pub. And as Kevin the Hare used to say, God between us and all harm. But the fella, he had a slight impediment. He spoke out the side of his mouth, and he went into the bar and he asked the lady behind the counter, would you give me 20 fags and a box of matches? Now you'll not believe this, but the young girl that was behind the counter, she had a slight impediment as well. And she said, what do you want? And she said, would you give me 20 fags and a box of matches? So she thought that he was being a smart aleck from Donegal or Ardry. So she ran inside for her mother. And the mother came out. Now this is really hard to believe, Barry, but I know you won't believe it. The mother had a slight impediment. And the mother said, "What, darling?" And he said, I want 20 fags and a box of matches. So she got hysterical and she ran inside for the husband. Now this is beyond belief.
He had an impediment.
No way.
How could you believe it?
As true as I'm standing here, he had a slight impediment as well. So he says, what do you want? And he said, I want 25 for a box of matches. So to make a long story short, the poor young fellow was thrown out of the bar without 20 fags or a box of matches. But after a few weeks, they discovered that the young fellow really had an impediment and he wasn't trying to be a smart aleck. So they invited him back to the house. And he had tea and buns in the room. And himself and the daughter of the house, who had a slight impediment, they became very friendly. And after another course of 3 or 4 months, they got engaged and eventually got married. Now this was in the 50s and there was no flying out to Mallorca after.
Just like Peggy and us.
Yeah. After the wedding.
She missed the flight.
After the wedding, they retired to the attic. And the two of them retired to the attic. And the two of them got into the bed. And this was the day there was no electricity. There was no strikes, just there was no electricity. And there was a candle lit on the side of the bed. And the two of them on the bed, when they discovered the candle was still lit. So the man, being a gentleman from Donegal, of course, he got out and he blew. But the candle wouldn't go out. So she, being a lady from Meath, she got out and she blew. And the candle still wouldn't go out. Now, the mother was very curious listening to what was happening upstairs. And she crept up the stairs as quietly as she could. The door was slightly ajar at the gap of it, and she looked in and she saw him down and her down. So the mother went in and she went down on her knees and she started. And the candle was still lit. Now the father, after finishing his nightly pipe and the evening press, he decided he would go up to retire, and when he got up he saw the door ajar and the three of them in. So he got in and the candle still didn't go out. Cheers. Now you're not believe this. You know, after all this, you'll not believe this, but there's a young fellow from Kerry who was working in the bank, and he was in digs in the house. And after he
Stop believing after the same speech.
anyway, he decided to go to bed anyway, and on his way up anyway, he saw the storage yard, and inside was the man and his wife, and his mother, and her mother, and her father. So he went in and he went over to the candle like that, and he put his hand on the candle and he put it out.
Oh, clever.
And the father of the house looked at him and he said, God, he said, isn't a wee bit of education a great thing?
That's enough to sing a song in the
I want to sing a song, Sean. You have to sing a song now. Shani Mac.
It won't be that long, will it? We're so young.
I don't know the song.
How would you mind if you pick it up again?
About a maid'll sing a song, she didn't have her family long.
You play that so young.
Not only did she do them wrong,
Woo.
but she done every one of them in. She done every one of them in. One morning in a fit of heat, sing rickety-tickety-tin. One morning in a fit of pique, she drowned her father in the creek. The water tasted bad for a week, and we had to make do with gin. We had to make do with gin. Her mother, she could never stand, sing rickety-tickety-tin. Her mother, she could never stand, and so with cyanide soup she planned. She died with a silver spoon in her hand, and her face in a hideous grin. Her face in a hideous grin. She set her sister's hair on fire.
Oh no!
Woo.
Sing rickety-tickety-tin. She set her sister's hair on fire, and as the smoke and flames grew higher, she danced around the funeral pyre, playing a violin, playing a violin.
Oh, good man.
She cut her baby brother in two.
Oh, Anthony!
Sing rickety-tickety-tin. She cut her baby brother in two and served him up as an Irish.
Oh my goodness.
She served him up as an Irish stew and invited the neighbours in. Invited the neighbours in. When at last the police came by, sing rickety-tickety-tin. And when at last the police came by, her little prank she did not deny. For to do so, she would have to lie. And lying she knew was a sin.